got some news today. Some news that definitely is making a lot of people upset. Um, Personally, I think it's just a little too soon. I don't want to jump to any type of conclusion quite yet. Um, it's not looking good though for a lot of people for what they wanted. Some more news came out about what's going to be happening. So we'll take a look at a little bit of it. I think some of it's not terrible just from the looks of it. I mean, for a lot of newer players, things like that, I think it's going to make the game a little bit easier to navigate. Not that I think it's extremely difficult to begin with. However, it's like anything else in this world where if you know how to do it, something simple, right? It can make sense to you if you've been doing it for a few years. You have an idea of sets and programs and missions, different things like that, but not everybody has that same knowledge. So it looks like, like with this live event programming, this live event hub, they're going to be trying to make it a little bit more, easy to see maybe where to find players, how to get players, different things like that. Also just kind of keeping you up to date as far as what's coming. So we'll keep an eye on that, see kind of how it's looking here. But here is kind of talking about the revamped onboarding, so talking about improved tutorial system to help players learn the deeper areas, different things like that. I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, as it says here, veterans will have the opportunity to skip the tutorial at any time. So a lot of people are going to be skipping that. That's perfect. Give us the option. This new item catalog, it kind of gives you vibes of MLB The Show with the inventory, different things like that. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where it will be able to see how people how to get a player. That I think that's what their goal is right here. It says the catalog aims to solve that. There's no great way to figure out how to get that player for yourself. Boom. That's what they're trying to do here. We'll see what that really does, how helpful that is. Again, this is going to be for the newer players. A lot of people that know how to get players, know how programs work, maybe follow the Twitch, follow the videos, keep up to date with Twitter, different things like that. Maybe, some of these kids that don't have any of that stuff, this is really going to help them out. This kind of gives us a little bit of a look at possibly, some cards we're going to be looking at. I'm not sure what program this might be or not. I am seeing it looks like some BND, so BND is back. But crossplay, I'm not too stressed about that. We'll see. There's so many other games have crossplay already. It was about time that this jumped into that world. One thing that you talk about though is economy changes across gen. So no longer will old gen be connected on the same market as the new gen. I don't see a problem with that. At this point, a lot of people have new gen. I mean, it's I don't even know why it's called next gen at this point. It really is just current. It's current. That should be old gen. So here they talk about the starting overall. So it says overall champions are going to launch. There'll be 87. The competitive pass, again, it looks like it's going to be focusing on like solo battles, MUT champs, and head-to-head seasons. So this is where I think a lot of people are drawing the conclusion that there is no weekend league. Now, I can definitely see where people are coming to that conclusion. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't mention it, unless they're not going to include weekend league in the competitive pass. Maybe that's going to be something that's completely separate. I mean, I think we should wait and see. Maybe it still comes at launch. They know everybody wants it, so I don't know why they're not giving it, what their reasoning behind it is, especially because something a little bit further down, I mean, it was a grind. Weekend league was a grind. Everyone will say it's a grind. That's why I don't do it. I don't have time. But I respect people that do it, and I'm not mad for the rewards that they get, the players they get, the coins they make. But it really feels like this season they're trying to take away a lot of coin-making opportunities, which, man, as someone who does not pay, I don't spend a lot of money, that's kind of concerning. But we'll see. Again, I don't want to jump to any conclusions until the game's out and we can kind of see what it is all about. But anyways, it talks about MUT champs, head-to-head seasons. Instead of completely refreshing bi-weekly, each iteration of the competitive pass will now start on the first Friday of each new season and last the duration of that season. To keep it fresh, there will be competitive pass specific daily, weekly, and season-long objectives for users. So That's kind of nice. We give maybe some people like myself at least more time to complete it. Unfortunately, for some other players, I'm sure that will mean that they're done very, very early. But so here is where I was kind of talking about, they are rewarding grinding because there will be exclusive player items. Each season there will be two competitive pass exclusive player items to chase. Each player has two versions, limited and base. The limited version can only be obtained by the first 1,000 users to reach that level. So you grind, you're going to get that limited version, which will have a champion level bucket and is auctionable. So good for those people that can grind to get that 1,000. You'll be one of those first 1,000 users. I'm already seeing complaints about, it's only for content creators. That's only for content creators. It is what it is. You either got time to grind or you don't got time to grind. I mean, I know there's 1,000 content creators, but 1,000 full time? I don't know. I mean, if you want it so bad, stay up and grind. I'm not bitching. It is what it is. I mean, good for them for being one of the first 1,000. It gives people something to grind for. I mean, that's what this game, it feels like it was taken away. So it's nice to kind of see that back. They just talk about MUT champs again. Not going to require a token for entry. No big deal. I mean, everyone had a ton of tokens, I think, but it will save some time as far as doing that. Here is kind of the part again where where it really feels like they're sort of taking away some opportunities to make coins. This year, in order to make champion sets more accessible, we've changed some of these sets to require any non-BND players of a given overall, rather than requiring heroes from that set. So basically, they're saying that headliners, you don't need headliner heroes to complete it. It was require any 84 to 85 overall players, which I feel very conflicted on. Part of me, that's good for me because champions are going to be much cheaper and potentially 84 to 85 overalls will hold value. So those core elites might hold some more value, or core elites of any overall might hold a little bit more value if they go into these champion sets. Obviously as the champion sets become higher overalls, then I'm sure it'll be 86 overall players or whatever it's going to be, 86, 87, whatever that might be. But for the the arbitrage, things like that, players that really took advantage of that system, that hurts. That could really hurt some coin making. But again, we'll wait and see. And then it just talks about the Madden Championship Series, but which I know there's some drama going on around that. And I'm not one to be super involved in that, so I don't necessarily want to speak on it too much, just from what I've kind of seen and what I saw linked. But man, if EA is giving out the game 10 days early, and this is what I heard, that certain players are getting the game 10 days early, and they're pros, also content, game changers, but they're also pros. Man, that's a bad look. That is a really bad look. I'm not saying that these players are cheating, because who's going to say no to getting it 10 days early? But, man, you got to know better than that. I mean, it needs to be a requirement that if you want this game 10 days early, you cannot compete in the first tournament. The first tournament, I think, is 4 days after launch. So these guys have a massive advantage. Massive advantage. That's crazy. If that's true, that's just crazy. They shouldn't be able to compete. But we want to talk about some overalls that did come out for certain positions. Seems like it was mainly just offensive line, defensive line. So offensive linemen, we got the top 10 going in. So you got Jason Kelsey, no surprise. Creed Humphrey, no surprise. Joe Bitonio, Trent Williams, Chris Lindstrom, Lane Johnson. This guy's a little bit of a surprise to me. Maybe I'm just out of touch with football, but I've never even heard of this guy. Ethan Pochich? No clue. Same with Connor Williams. I must just be out a little bit. I mean, I don't know these two. Which Browns and Dolphins, I mean, I'm not too surprised, but so top 10, I mean, only goes down to 85. So there's some pretty good linemen there. And I do see, it's interesting, 1, 2, I guess not too many centers, but, 3. I guess 3 centers in the top 10. So anyways, some players there. But for people like myself, I personally took quite a few rookie premieres. So then we also got the defensive lineman, Chris Jones taking that top spot, but they call it defensive lineman, but really this is just defensive tackles. They have DNs in a different one, but we got Chris Jones, Dexter Lawrence, Hargrave, Williams, Allen, Cox. They did my boy Buckner dirty with an 83 again. But we got Reeder, Armstead, and Pierce. So all the way down to 82s. Not a bad looking bunch though. Chris Jones probably been nasty like always. And if you want to go, I mean, I'm just on Madden Ultimate Team's Twitter. You know, they got the overalls, or I mean, they got the stats if you're interested in those. I don't want to go through all that, but now we have defensive ends. Of course, you know, AD is going to take that top spot. He must just take it by stats over Myles Garrett, but you got 4 86s, all very deserving of that spot. DeMarcus Lawrence, Montez Sweat, Christian Wilkins, Brian Burns, Cameron Hayward, and Von Miller. Von Miller still cracking the top 10. Interesting. Where's Crosby? I'm not even a fan, but that's kind of interesting to me. That dude's a stud. So those are some players. So it's kind of cool. See some people getting released. The overalls getting released. What's interesting to me though is that they said that in the blog that the champions, I guess champions will be 87. So I'm guessing 86 must be the max for these core elites, because there's no way neither of these three guys, Donald, Garrett, or Bosa, don't get the highest overall. So I'm guessing we'll see Josh Allen at 86, Mahomes at 86, you know, Justin Jefferson. A lot of these guys who are going to be the max overalls, they'll probably be coming out at 86s. So anyways, more information coming out. Again, this blog, very, very controversial. Let me know down below what you think. Do you think this means no weekend league? Personally, I think we should wait and see a little bit. One thing I will note is I think I heard something about there's going to be a stream Monday the 14th, I believe, at 6 p.m. Eastern. So to me, that says the game is not going to be released early. I don't know why they would have that stream if they planned on releasing it sooner than that. So my guess is that 8 p.m. Eastern time Monday that the store shows is probably accurate, and we're probably looking at a 6 p.m. Mountain time for me. 8 p.m. Eastern launch time. So keep your eyes peeled, I guess, if anything changes, any new information comes out, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Kind of makes me think that New Zealand trick is not going to work either, but we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of people that try it. Unfortunately, you just might not know, especially if you were planning on maybe taking the day off or being sick, something like that. You never know when that case of that Madden flu hits you and you're going to miss a day of work. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the news. I'll try to update you as much as I can. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.